So here's Banchero attacking and getting an and one from Wiggins. A few moments after that, the ref teed up Draymond out of nowhere, probably because he disagreed with the call, or probably he said something that ticked him off. Now, instead of just walking away, Draymond walked up to the ref and demanded an explanation why he got the tech, while he kept saying, "What do you think I say? What do you think I say?" Steph intervened to pacify the situation, and so as the entire Warriors team to make sure Draymond didn't go overboard. But as he was heading to the bench, Draymond barked some nasty stuff, and those 3 foul words were more than enough for the ref to blow his whistle and send Draymond to the showers. This was already the 4th time that Draymond had been ejected this season, on top of being suspended in 2 separate occasions. I mean, the entire incident was so out of hand that it happened just 4 freaking minutes into the game. With this happening yet again, Steph was clearly frustrated over the matter and just broke down underneath his jersey, looking completely helpless. We thought Draymond learned his lesson already after going through some in-depth anger management sessions and having lengthy talks with the commissioner. But it turns out none of that stuff worked, and now we're right back where we started. The Draymond Green situation is jeopardizing the Dubs' championship hopes this season. And this is exactly the reason why Steph just broke down in tears. He knows that if Draymond can't get his act together or can't check his ego at the door, they're most likely going to get cooked in the postseason. See, we all know how important Draymond is for the Warriors. He's basically the heart and soul of the team, the guy who provides the energy and hustle on both ends, while also serving as the team's primary facilitator. Dre's role is so huge that the Dubs' entire offense would collapse or not be as efficient without him getting involved in it, one way or another, or running it directly. He's the fulcrum in which literally every single part of their system hinges on. So from this perspective, it's easy to understand now why Steph bawled his eyes out, because he's just that important of a piece. But on the flip side, it seems that Draymond's ego is more important for him over their championship goals. Because I strongly believe that he could have just walked away and avoided getting tossed out. Because ever since he came back, he managed to stay away from fights and unnecessary shenanigans that has nothing to do with playing basketball. And speaking of which, he was actually playing really well since he got back from suspension. I mean, check this out. He's averaging just a tick below 9 points a ball game, along with 6 assists, 7.2 rebounds, and 1 steal a ball game. Now, you might say, yeah, we've seen this before. This is just a typical Draymond stat line. But see, here's the game changer. He's currently shooting 50% from the field, and what's even crazier is that he's shooting the ball better from long range, hitting 38.5%, something that he hasn't done for a long while now. And the last time he shot this good was way back in the 2015-16 season, where he averaged 38.8%. On top of this, the Warriors are 18-11 since Dre got back in the fold. And as you can see here, the Dubs are clearly better off with Draymond playing in their corner this season. So I don't really understand why he has to keep throwing himself out of the ball game time and time again. With a few games left to play ahead, the Warriors are in a precarious position right now in the West. And despite racking up 5 straight wins, they're still 1.5 games behind the 9th-seeded Lakers, a team that are also finding their groove and heating up as of late. The last stretch of the season is extremely crucial for the Warriors, and there's no question that they need all the help that they can get at this point. But with Draymond doing Draymond things on a nightly basis, and I'm not talking about the way he's filling the stat sheets, but rather the I'm just gonna get attacked for no reason kind of stuff, then we can finally say that the Dubs dynasty is about to come to an end for sure. Let me say this, if the Dubs don't find a way to miraculously turn around their season, it's sure as day that there's gonna be a major roster shakeup happening somewhere around the corner. I mean, the Warriors splurged the most amount of money in terms of payroll, and attached with this, they're also the team that has the highest luxury tax bill in this season. Now, if I'm Joe Lacob and I'm spending a crazy amount in building a competitive roster, but at the end of the day, all I'm getting is a 10 seed out of it, then this is definitely a bad investment from a business standpoint. Which is why I believe that a lot of heads will eventually roll, should the Warriors fail to win the championship. Obviously, no one is off the table, aside from Mr. Number 30 as per reports. Klay is up for extension next year, but based on his subpar performance this season, there's a big chance that the Dubs will dump him elsewhere along with Chris Paul's chunky $30 million salary for next year. And this now all boils down back to Draymond. See, the Dubs had offered him a 4-year, $100 million contract extension right before the start of the season. But this does not guarantee that he won't be traded. I mean, if they would trade Klay, maybe the Warriors will let go of Dre too, and finally break up their big three to kickstart the Dubs' new era under Steph, and continue to build around Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Podziemski in the future. Now, I know that this is all just in theory, but just for the sake of conversation, why don't we explore some possible replacements for Draymond, should a trade really push through? Well, one player that comes on top of my head is Jeremy Grant. In terms of size, he's a bit bigger than Draymond, standing around 6'7", 6'8", and although he doesn't have super basketball IQ like Dre, Grant is equally as versatile as he is. I mean, Grant can play from 3 to 5 on the offensive end, and he's a switchable wing that can guard multiple positions on defense. But to me, his biggest upside is his scoring. This dude is averaging above 20 points a ball game this season on 45, 40, and 81 shooting splits. Grant can definitely help out Steph in putting points on the scoreboard as a secondary or even tertiary scorer who can manufacture his own shots all around the court. Now, aside from Grant, Mikal Bridges is also another potential candidate to replace Draymond. I mean, Bridges is another lengthy and versatile forward who can knock down the 3-ball and play tough D on the other end. The Dubs' attraction to two-way wings is no secret anymore, with Wiggins, JK, and to some extent GP2, and the old version Klay fitting into this specific profile, which is why I really think Bridges has a good chance of thriving in the Bay Area alongside Steph. Anyway, another guy that I'm thinking of is Jarrett Allen. I mean, for the longest time, the lack of size underneath has always been the Warriors' problem. Adding Allen to the mix will not only give the Warriors a solid rim protector that can alter and block shots in the paint, but also a reliable roll guy who can catch lobs and slide inside on pick and roll actions. Again, this is all just trade theories, and even though I played with these names around, I still believe that Draymond is irreplaceable with the stuff that he brings to the table for the Golden State Warriors, like the way he sets the table for them, the energy that he brings, the intensity. But see, if the Dubs flame out early in the playoffs, then the trade possibilities that I just talked about may have just become a reality. Anyway guys, what's your take on this? Should the Dubs move on from Draymond and his antics? Be sure to comment down below because I want to know your thoughts about this. And until then, I shall see you on the next video.